There is no power in heaven or on earth that can withhold from you what belongs to you by divine right. Let the truth ring like a trumpet in your soul. You were not born for lack. You were not placed here to scrape by, to live in worry, or to bow to the tyranny of not enough. No, you were born to walk in the abundance of the kingdom. Money is not your master, it is your servant. It is not a god to be worshipped, but a tool to be commanded. The moment you demand wealth as a rightful child of the infinite, it begins its journey to you. The law of supply is always working. It never sleeps. It never fails. But it responds only to faith-filled words and vision-infused minds. So I ask you now, what are you declaring into the ethers? Are you speaking poverty, or are you commanding prosperity? Are you saying, I can't afford it? Or are you boldly affirming, infinite substance flows to me now, freely, joyfully, abundantly? For every word you speak is a blueprint. Every thought you think is a magnet. You are not waiting for money. Money is waiting for your permission. And fear that old deceiver will try to whisper lies in your ear. It will say, play it safe, hold back, don't give, don't ask too much. But I tell you, cast it out. Fear is faith in the wrong direction. Fear is the closed gate to your good. But faith, fearless, fiery faith, flings the gates wide open and declares, what is mine now appears. Give, and it shall be given unto you, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over. Money flows where it is honored, where it is celebrated, and where it is allowed to serve a divine purpose. Hoard it, and it withers. Circulate it, and it multiplies. Let your giving be bold. Let your asking be bolder. Let your faith be the boldest of all. You are not a beggar. You are not at the mercy of circumstance. You are a spiritual powerhouse, divinely connected to an unlimited source. The vaults of heaven are open to you, and they are waiting for your command. So stand tall, speak the word, paint the vision, and demand your good now, not tomorrow. Not when the economy shifts, not when the stars align, but now. And it shall come to pass by divine law that all you need, and more than you can imagine, will flow to you in perfect timing. Under grace, in miraculous ways. So speak, declare, and watch money rush to meet you on demand. Every word you speak and every image you hold in mind acts as a decree, a spiritual order sent into the unseen, where it gathers substance and prepares to manifest. The spoken word is not casual, it is causative. When you speak with faith, conviction, and clarity, you are not merely talking, you are commanding energy. You are issuing instructions to the very forces of creation. Your words are your wands, and when used rightly, they perform miracles. You do not have to struggle and toil endlessly to bring money into your life. Struggle is the result of a mind focused on limitation, but manifestation is born from a mind aligned with infinite substance and divine supply. Money responds not to effort, but to conscious direction. You imagine it, you feel it, you affirm it, and then it comes. Imagination is the womb of creation. That which you can see in your mind's eye, you can hold in your hand. But most people use imagination destructively. They worry, they rehearse lack, they visualize disaster, and then they wonder why their lives are filled with financial hardship. Your mental picture is your order form to the universe. If you are constantly picturing unpaid bills, empty wallets, or business failures, you are magnetizing just that. But if you begin to picture wealth not as a desperate hope, but as a reality that is already yours, you shift the currents of creation in your favor. Close your eyes and see yourself prosperous. See the check in the mail, the sale completed, the bank balance rising. Feel the joy as if it is happening now. The subconscious mind does not argue, it accepts what is impressed upon it. It is the soil, your thoughts are the seeds. Plant with intention and water with faith. You must learn to speak and imagine with deliberate power. Say aloud, money comes to me in unexpected and joyful ways. Say it not once, but repeatedly, until it imprints on your consciousness. Say it until the world begins to bend and fold in miraculous ways to prove your word true. You are not lying to yourself, you are declaring spiritual law. Just as a general gives a command and the army moves, your declaration causes the universe to rearrange itself to fulfill the decree. But the key is feeling. Empty words without belief are like arrows without a bow. It is feeling that fuels manifestation. Speak your word with faith. Imagine with joy. Expect with certainty. Never say what you do not wish to see appear. Cut off the language of lack. Stop affirming, I can't afford it, or money is tight. Those are spells, and you are casting them upon your own life. Say, instead, everything I need is already on its way. I walk in abundance. The universe is my unfailing source. Say it until it becomes your truth. Say it until money shows up at your door, not as a miracle, but as the natural result of your words and imagination made flesh. Fear is the great stopper of blessings, the silent thief that robs you of the very good that is already yours by divine right. It whispers in your mind, what if it doesn't work? What if you fail? What if the money doesn't come? And if you listen to that voice, if you allow it to take root in your consciousness, it begins to build a wall, not out of stone or steel, but of thought. That wall is invisible to the eye but impenetrable to the flow of prosperity. The moment you give fear your agreement, you cut yourself off from the abundant stream of supply that is ever flowing, ever present, and always available. Fear is not just a feeling, it is a vibration, a broadcast to the universe that says, I don't trust, I don't believe, I am not ready. And so the universe, always faithful to reflect your inner world, responds with more delay, more uncertainty, more lack. But faith is the power that dissolves every wall. Faith is not passive. It is not weak hope. It is a bold declaration that says, though I see nothing, I know it is coming. Faith speaks as if it already possesses. It walks as though the ground will rise to meet its feet. Faith is not concerned with appearances, for appearances are only the after effect of thought. The outer is nothing but the echo of the inner. When you choose faith over fear, you reclaim your authority. You step into your role as co-creator with the infinite. You become the cause, not the effect. You stop asking, how will it come? And instead say, it is already done. To manifest money, to truly call it forth on demand, you must starve fear and feed faith. Every time fear speaks, answer it with truth. When it says, there's not enough, you say, my supply is unlimited. When it says, you've never done this before, you say, this is a new day, and I am guided every step of the way. You cannot fight fear with willpower, but you can dissolve it with spiritual truth. Fear melts in the presence of a higher vibration. Affirm, I walk in fearless faith. Every dollar I need is already making its way to me now. I live in a friendly universe, and it is always providing. Money is energy. It responds to the energy you carry. When you radiate fear, you repel it. When you radiate faith, gratitude, and confidence, you magnetize it. You become a vessel through which wealth flows easily, naturally, continually. Faith does not beg, it does not chase, it knows. And because it knows, it receives. Let faith be your default setting. Let it be the atmosphere you breathe. And the moment you choose faith, not once, but repeatedly, deliberately, persistently, the floodgates open, doors swing wide, opportunities rise where there were none. The channels of supply awaken, and money begins to move, not as a distant dream, but as a present reality flowing to you with divine ease. Circulation is the law of life. Everything in nature moves in cycles. The tides flow in and out, the seasons come and go, the breath fills and releases. So too must money circulate, or it becomes stagnant. When you give freely, joyfully, and without fear, you activate a divine law that ensures what you give returns to you, multiplied. The very act of giving breaks the grip of scarcity. It declares to the universe, I trust in my supply, I trust that more is coming. And the universe, hearing that declaration, rushes to fill your life with more money, more opportunity, more flow. Giving is not about how much you have. It's about the spirit with which you give. Even the smallest gift, when given with love and expectation, holds the power to open great doors. Many hold tightly to money out of fear that it will run out, fear that they won't have enough for later, fear that what they give will never return. But that very fear blocks the return. When you hoard, you signal to the universe that you do not believe in its infinite supply. You shrink your capacity to receive by closing the channel through which money flows. You cannot receive with a clenched fist. Money, like water, needs movement. It thrives in circulation. When you give freely, without expectation of return from the same place you gave, you show your alignment with the higher law, the law of return. And that law is precise, faithful, and abundant. Do not give out of obligation, or guilt, or pressure. That kind of giving carries a low vibration and brings little return. Give out of joy, give out of love. Give because you are affirming to yourself and to the universe that you are already abundant. Every time you give, you affirm. There is more where that came from. And there is, give with gratitude, and you receive with ease. Give with joy, and you receive with speed. It is not about how much you give, but how purely you give it. If money is not flowing to you, ask yourself, am I allowing it to flow through me? Do I circulate it, or do I fearfully hold on? Do I release it with trust, or do I give and then worry? The energy behind your giving is what determines the quality of your receiving. When you become a channel for divine circulation, you step into a river of unending abundance. It will come to you from sources seen and unseen. It may not always return through the same hand you gave it to, but it will return often in greater measure, and in ways more wonderful than you could have imagined. So bless what you give, bless who you give it to, and then let it go. The return is assured, the law is unfailing, and as you keep that money moving in love, in faith, and in joy, you will find that it always returns greater, faster, and more abundantly than before. You are not meant to crawl through life hoping for scraps, begging the universe to remember you. You are not here to plead or prove your worthiness for abundance. You are a divine being, created from the infinite substance of the universe itself, and you are here to command your good, not from ego, but from truth. What is yours, by divine right, cannot be taken, cannot be delayed, cannot be withheld unless you, by your own thoughts, deny yourself access. You do not demand from people, from systems, or from conditions. You demand from the universal law, a law that responds to vibration, to belief, to spiritual authority. You do not need permission to prosper. You need alignment, clarity, and the boldness to speak the word. When you declare, with unwavering faith, "This is mine now," you set powerful forces into motion. You are not asking, you are affirming what is already prepared for you in the invisible. The moment you declare it, it begins moving toward you. The channels begin to open. The right people, the right opportunities, the divine appointments, all start rearranging themselves around your declaration. But the key is to declare it without fear, without doubt, and without hesitation. Fear dilutes the power of your word. Doubt disrupts the flow. You must know that what you desire is not outside of you, it is within reach, within law, and within your power to claim. When you understand that wealth is your divine inheritance, you stop shrinking. You stop apologizing for your desires. You stop making excuses for playing small. You begin to speak with spiritual authority. I am one with divine substance. Money belongs to me as naturally as sunlight belongs to the sun. I do not chase, I do not wait. I declare, and I receive. You speak your word, and then you stand on it. You don't look to see if it's working, you know it is. You don't beg the law to listen, you know it already has. Your job is not to worry about how it will come. Your job is to maintain the vibration, the knowing, the confidence that what is yours is already on its way, drawn to you by the magnetic pull of fearless faith. You must rise up and speak your desire as law. No more I hope, no more I wish, no more maybe one day. Those words carry no creative power. But when you say, I demand the immediate manifestation of all that is mine by divine right, you speak with the voice of spiritual command, not arrogance, not desperation, but deep, sacred knowing. You are not taking from anyone. You are simply stepping into alignment with what was always yours. Your supply is waiting on your word. Your wealth is waiting on your vibration. The universe has already said yes. It is your turn to declare it, expect it, and receive it. Speak now, and let your good be made visible. For it has no choice but to obey the command of fearless, faithful, divine authority.